So good morning, everyone. Welcome to, or good afternoon, depending where you are at the moment. Welcome to our today's webinar, Maximizing Efficiency in Patent Renewals. In this webinar, we want to explore how choosing the right patent annuity management solution can deliver efficiency and minimize your costs and scale with your needs. So before we start, we would like to introduce ourselves. So ladies first, Ramona, would you like to introduce you?
Good morning, everybody. Good afternoon. My name is Ramona Maser. I'm responsible at Questel for all annuities entities across the globe. And today with me, we also have Thorsten Kraus. Over
Good
to you,
morning,
Thorsten.
everyone. Yeah, hi, I'm Torsten. It's called SME, Subject Matter Expert at Questel, and I'm responsible for patent services at Questel and especially for the annuities. And today I'm here with my dear colleague Ramona to lead you a little bit through the solutions that we can offer for such service. So let's start with the objectives. So what do we want to do today? So we have three topics, main topics, let's say, for this webinar. One is we want to explore different strategies and solutions, how you can streamline and optimize the process. And then in the second one, we want to discover how the different solutions can save you time and money and be more efficient with those solutions. And last but not least, we have different solutions in place depending also where you are, so which jurisdictions you're in, or what kind of IP management system you have in use, or what kind of process you need. So we have four quite different solutions to offer for the patent annuities, and we want to lead you through those four different solutions. But let's start first with a question. Or with some questions, and that's the burden that what we hear from many of our clients that all are sharing, and that is the question. So how do I manage all of this? So there are questions like about the service. Do I really get enough value for the money that I'm paying for? And then, of course, the fees, that's always a topic when we discuss the annuity solutions with our clients. So is it clear what I'm paying for? Efficiency, we said it already at the beginning a few times. So do I waste my time and my resources? And then, of course, invoices. So how can I, or costs in general, how can I get control and check compliance? And this all is, let's say, under the headline that patent annuities are not really creating value for corporates or law firms also. For law firms maybe a bit more, but for corporates certainly not. It's something that you need to do. It sometimes costs a lot of nerves and stress and time and also money. So that is why it's so important to find the right solution to bring all these pieces of the puzzle that you see here on that slide together. So let's start with where we are now. Let's have a look at the current situation, what we hear from many of our clients still, and that is the question: we want to go automated, but are we really there? So from the manual process to the fully automated process, it's quite a wide range, and we see our clients in every part of this range, and let's have a look at what that means. So what we're facing today, still less and less certainly, but still we're facing that the renewals management is still having a lot of unnecessary costs on efforts and also cost drivers. Still too much time needs to be spent on annuities, and that doesn't make any sense when it's not creating value. And we see immediate discontinuity, which is caused by manual tasks that are still there. Then, of course, it's always a question how is the quality of my data, especially for patent annuities. Data quality is really crucial. It's extremely important that, especially when you're starting with a provider like us, that data are really checked through and that the data on both sides are equal in both systems, and the verification, the creation of data is definitely more and more a challenge because you're getting data from everywhere, from so many different sources, And sometimes you also may face a situation that you get different portfolios, like maybe by merger or acquisition, for instance, or just it's a legacy system and then the data have been entered, I don't know, 10 years ago in that way, and then it changed in between. So that's always a topic, the data creation, verification, maintenance. Then the formats, of course, formats playing a role. When you have not a standardized process in place, then you may have also not a standardized data format. So it means you get data in different formats, invoices in different formats, documents in different formats. And it can be challenging to bring all these different formats together. Then, of course, as a next step is the manual transfer of data from one to another system. So what is meant here? You have your own system in the best case, and then your provider has a system, and the data have to go from A to B, and in the best case also in both directions. And so how is this organized? Are there many manual steps inside, or can this be done automatically, which of course helps a lot. And then the intense communication which is also often necessary with suppliers or with agents when you do annuity payments. And finally, error corrections and adjustments, clarifications, so that refers again to the data and the data quality. So this all is still happening quite manual at many, in many systems or with many of our clients. But we see also a clear trend to change this because everyone wants to get rid of the media discontinuity which appears thereby. So let's talk about how you get from manual to an automated workflow, and I'm handing over to Ramona now.
Thank you, Torsten. So we understand that many of our clients or many businesses are at different stages of digital transformation, which also poses you to the questions: where should I begin? Where should I start actually to digitize or to scale more the automation which might be in place already? So regardless at which stage you are right now in the transformation, our solutions are supporting you to transition from a manual process to a fully automated system. And we are going to show you on the next slides how to accomplish this. It takes a little while until the next slide is loading. So basically, the common way of working, what we are showing here are the regular steps in the annuities process. So when an annuity is due, usually you receive as a client a reminder, depending on the lead time which you are choosing. You might have at that point questions about the costs. So communication starts back and forth between you as a client and the service providers. Sometimes there are explanations required depending on are there any power of attorney required. At one point, you might have received from potentially your R&D department or from the decision makers about the patents that you really want to maintain the specific patent or design or IP right. So you would send an instruction to the service provider. Sometimes we also see that despite the fact that several decisions have been made, sometimes the strategy is changing of a company. So a decision is also changing and another email is triggered to cancel basically the instruction and the order placed. With regards to the data, like Torsten explained earlier, there is a lot of communication about the data. Sometimes we are receiving Excel sheets, sometimes there are errors on this. So we also would need to have communication about the data, and everything is in the normal common way of working. Everything is usually via emails. It doesn't stop after you have placed the order. So once the annuity is paid, additional communication takes place because, of course, you would like to receive the payment status. You would like to know, is the official receipt there? Can you receive the official receipt at which point? So there is a lot of communication going on back and forward, which we would like to show how we can automate this.
Yeah, so you've seen already in the slide we've just were showing before how many steps can be involved. So, and here we are clear, and that's what we hear from our clients. Everyone would like to have this process automated. So the different steps, of course, where you can be. This is depending on your situation. For instance, do you have an IP management in use? And or don't you have it in use? If you don't have it in use, there are certainly a lot of manual steps. If you have an IP management in use, then you can have an automated or a semi-automated process. This is depending on how far you have gone. If you already have established an API, for instance. And what we want to do is when we talk to our clients, we always want to understand first how is your situation? Where are you today? Where do you want to go? What are your plans for the next month? What are your plans ahead, let's say, in the future? And then we try to elaborate which is the best solution for you. So, Aroma, I think it's you, or is it still me? Sorry.
I can take over, no problem. So what do we want to accomplish with this slide? So basically, we reiterate that we understand your objectives, which can be a combination of any out of those four. So either one of the objectives could be to save money or costs because of tight budgets and because of the economy globally, or to gain transparency. So even if you don't have potentially a complete control over the costs, you require the transparency so that you can take the decisions if you want to retain specific patents in your portfolio, yes or no. Then it's about efficiency, like we saw on the previous slides, where a lot of manual steps are involved, a lot of email communication is taking place. You would have, or your patent administrators would have to maintain the annuities life cycle per case in your own IPMS, and then you have the additional communication via email or phone calls, etc. So it's also about efficiency, and then of course it's about quality. So everybody wants to be sure and know that each patent and each annuity is safe, so that you can support the strategy of your business. So on our next slide, we are going to show you how this is looking like in an IP management system. The screen which you are seeing on the left side is a screenshot from our Equinox IP management system. And as we explained earlier, we are aiming to integrate a service into our IPMS system, which means that by the time you are sending the instruction, or you are entering the instruction in your own IPMS, in this case in the Equinox IPMS, the instruction is sent over to us directly via an interface. So which means one more click for the slide, which means that with this solution, it's a highly specialized service, like a highly specialized integration. It's very easy to use for you and your patent administrators. As said, highly automated, efficient, and reliable. And of course, as full resolution, it's way cheaper than having everyone communicating via emails. What you can see here is there are only two red tasks. The red tasks are the triggers which are sent through your IP management system, in this case, our Equinox solution, to our annuity system. Our annuity system is marked in this slide as blue. So at the beginning of the process, whenever you are adding the decision of the patent needs to be maintained and instructed, you are transferring basically, or let me start again. Whenever you are adding a new case into your system, the case details are transferred automatically via the interface into our system, which gives us the ability to push through our interface back into the Equinox system the due date information. So at that point, you know when the case is due, And of course, for your decision, you also would need to know what would be the renewals cost for the specific case. Then, in collaboration with the other internal people from R&D or whichever department is taking the decision, you can provide the instructions straight into your system. So let's say your colleague is saying, we are maintaining this, we want to proceed with this case. So your colleague can even enter straight into the system the decision, which means the information is pushed over into our system. And we provide, this is the task number 5 here on the screen, we provide you the final information back straight in the Equinox system. So there is no email communication, there is no phone communication, so everything flies between the two systems and the data transfer is easy and safe. At the end of the annuity payment process, you would also receive the official receipts, which are also pushed over into the case, into the specific annuity, and everything is locked and stored in the system you are used to work every day with.
Right. So thank you, Ramona. There's something I would like to add here, and that is this is now what you see here on that slide. That's yeah, the process, the generic process of how it works with Equinox. We were saying at the beginning that we have 4 different solutions in place at Questel. We will come to that later. One of them is Pavis, which is an annuity provider. It's a center of excellence for annuities at Questel. And especially with Pavis, we made the experience in the past 16, 17 years that when you want to optimize a process, it is really has to do with automation. Everyone's talking about costs, of course, no doubt about that. But we were always thinking about how can you make the process leaner and better. And well, this ended up in an API, what Ramona has just described. But we were at Pavis also looking to create alliances with many, many different IPMS providers, so that we don't have only integration with our own system, but also with other systems at the market. And learning from this experience, we were extending this approach to other solutions that we have, also Pavis legacies and DACH region, but of course we want to do the same everywhere in the world, like it may be in the US, may be in Japan, may be in China or wherever. We are identifying partners to work with so that we can have APIs in place not only with our own system, but also with systems which are then relevant for the certain markets. That means for our clients, you should always have the choice which system fits you the best. So of course we're happy if you're interested in Equinox and if you buy it, but if you don't, for whatever reason, you should also still benefit from this approach that we have. Because in the end, and that's shown on this slide, it brings the pieces of the puzzle together that we had at the beginning, the burden we all share, is you can, with such a solution, create external savings and also internal savings. So the external savings, well, that has to do with the cost, of course, with our fees. That is something that is always point of discussions when you talk to a provider. But of course, the internal savings, they play quite a high role, especially today when resources or finding resources with expertise is getting more and more difficult. Because you need less time for the whole process. It's more automated. You can work from your system like it's like a cockpit, if you want, that connects you with the service outside. And that, of course, leads to more process efficiency and also more cost controlling if everything is directly shown in your IP management systems. So that is why I wanted to add this. So you can choose Equinox. We would be super happy. If don't, we will still be happy, and you will still have this solution in place, or you can have it at least. So we think really everything that can be automated should be automated when it's, especially when it's an administrative task, when it's operative task. There are so many. We're talking about annuities today. We can also talk about other services, but we always think so. What can go from one system to the other system directly? That's always our intention. And if something is not there yet, we're working on it to also implement that. So that you in the end have the reliable payments, you have a clear reduction of the workload, written effort can be reduced, the process optimization, you spoke about that, and something that is not shown here, it's also the reporting. So when you are in your system and you have to run reports out of your system, of course it helps if your system can have access to the most accurate data from your provider system directly in your system. So that means that whenever you need to run a report or when you need to make a decision, you will have the necessary information in your system. You don't need to ask someone, you don't need to go to different sources and bring it together and create something manual out of that. You just go to your system, you say, I want to run a report, you choose what you want to see or what you want to have analyzed, and then you just click and you get it from your system. So that's a huge benefit, which has nothing to do with the service itself, but the impact on your internal workload reduction is quite high. So here we see now different possible steps where you could be. We were saying a little bit about that also earlier, but let's deep dive a little bit more. So these are the 4 stages that we see at the market when we talk to clients. So you may have no IPMS in use, but we see that also when corporates have smaller portfolios, they thinking about establishing an IPMS. Or you have already an IPMS and you already were focusing on the reduction of manual tasks, so you started with that digitization process. Or you already started to do a batch file exchange with a provider. So you export something from your system, you send it to a provider, the provider can import it, and in the best case, vice versa, so that your provider is sending also back information that you can import to actualize your system. That's already quite far. And then, of course, the high automation, what we were just describing, that means the systems, they can talk to each other directly. You don't need to export something and send an email. It will happen between the systems. So that is the level that we want to achieve. And wherever you are on this step, it's important that we understand where you are. It's important for us to understand where you want to go, because we have a solution for all those different steps. So what is then, if this can be reached in the end, the automation, what is then the benefit? It's of course, it's a seamless process. And that helps you a lot to forget all about this maintenance and creation of data and verification of data, what you've seen, or how you manage managing invoices and so forth. It's a seamless process, and you don't have to care about all these potential manual steps any longer. And this is exactly what we can offer to you. So the question is where, and I give back to Ramona.
So to the integration, it's not only always about technology. We all know what matters in business is the people, which means that with our 1,700 Questel employees across the globe, we are also localizing in terms of having specific centers in the Americas, in Europe and APEC, which means we are, with our operational centers, we are there where our clients are. Thank you. The team, the annuities team, is spread across the globe. The main focus offices are in Europe, for instance, Munich, in Switzerland, Basel and Geneva. In France, it's Paris, in Tokyo, in Japan, or Shanghai and Beijing in China. So basically, we are there where our customers are, and we are also not only offering a very specific service, but we are offering tailor-made solutions to the specific needs of our regions, but also to the specific needs of the business sectors or the size of the businesses. So we would like to speak more in detail about the different solutions we are offering, so that you can select, pick and choose the solution which is the most appropriate for you.
Thank you, Ramona. Yeah, let's dive into that. So far, we've talked in theory, let's say, and now let's have a look at what it really means, these solutions. So solutions are also entities or have been entities, depending a little bit, and one of them is PALIS. I mentioned PALIS, I think, a couple of minutes ago. This is the Center of Excellence for Annuities at Questel, or part of it. It is a company which is based in Germany, so with the focus on the DACH region in the past, today also working internationally, of course. And PALIS is at the market since 1980, so 45 years now, with 1,500 clients and managing about 1.2 million IP rights for patent annuities, but also trademark renewals, by the way. So what is the focus now? What's the brand and the client type? So this is typically used by law firms. PALIS has around about 700 law firm clients, any size, and also mid and large corporates. Sometimes we have also single inventors as clients, so that happens as well. And we also have the two largest filers at the German Patent Office as clients, for instance. But I would say the typical client is a mid-sized corporate. So if it's a corporate, a mid-sized corporate client. So what is different now at PALIS? So what's the so-called USP for the management? So A, of course, the history. So we know what we're doing since quite a long time. We are regulated also at PALIS. Regulated company means we are under the banking law. That has to do with the fact that we are in the money transfer business automatically when we pay annuities, because the biggest portion is always official fees, what's invoiced. And since this is not our money, it's not a service fee or whatever, it's others' money which we have to transfer from one place to the other. This is money transfer. And as a company, at least in Germany, being active in this business sector, you need to be regulated, and therefore also 100% compliant when it comes how you deal with money. That has to do with escrow accounts that we create for our clients, for instance, and money is not mixed up, your money with third parties' money or other clients' money, our money. So the money stream needs to be extremely transparent, and every money stream from each client needs to be separated from the others. So that is very special when it comes to PALIS. And we are not only 45 years in the market, but we have also quite loyal clients, let's say. So the client retention rate is nearly 100%. Many clients are with PALIS since 20, 30 years even. So that's PALIS for management. For administrators, it's very human-centric. So there is a strong team. It's based in Starnberg near Munich. All the service delivery managers are based there, or most of them, at least. The data transfer is something that is very important to PALIS. So we were talking about APIs and alliances with IPMS providers, IPM API with our own system, of course, Equinox. But whatever system you may have, usually we can integrate and create an API with your IP management system. The only limitation that we could have is a political one. If this is an IP management system from one of our main competitors, then it may happen that they don't want us to have an API on this IPMS. But technically, we can have APIs at PALIS with every system, and it can easily be created something new. So it's really software agnostic. So the differentiators are of course, here, as explained now a few times, various APIs regulated. It's very automated to service. It also has an online platform. If you don't have an IPMS, for instance, you can also use a platform to access your data, extract and run reports, for instance, and the very efficient customer care support. So that's PALIS. Now let's have a look at the next solution. It's a different one. It is IPRIS. So that's Ramona.
Thank you, Thorsten. So the IPRES service is styled around universities or public solutions, public institutions, which means that not only public institutions and universities are clients of IPRES, but also startups, small, medium enterprises, very small IP law firms. As a manager, you might be interested in for how long is this service existing? It's plus 15 years since when we started to support the university and public institution area and expanded into the small businesses. We are offering to our clients a top tier web portal, and there is a lot of self-service which can take place. But in essence, many universities are requiring a lot of support. So the style of our service is more like a consultative approach for our clients. Um, Given the nature of how the IP portfolios are managed in public institutions and universities, very often the instructions are coming in very late because there are too many decisions makers in the whole process involved. So it takes time until everybody has provided the decision. So basically, also, it's just to ease your mind. That's a regular process for us, nothing which is surprising us. So we are set up to also handle very late instructions. We are glad to say that our customers in this area are also very happy. We have a very high retention rate over there as well. As the USPs for patent administrators, like mentioned, if there are any formalities due for specific cases, we are providing you all the information required. If there are additional questions, so we provide everything what you need, or really ahead of the time, so that you can take the right decision. You also can monitor and renew basically via our portal. And what we are providing at IPRES, it's not only the patents, designs, and trademarks, but we are also providing the PBRs, which is IP right often seen in universities or public institutions. For our portal, there is unlimited users or training, so no problem. And we are providing also the trainings as many as required. As a key differentiator for IPRES, we do offer the interface to Sophia, which is a software used in that sector very frequently. Like I mentioned, the express payments is a process which we have in place for you, so that we can pay also on the very last day of the grace period, just in case the decisions are made very, very late on your side. With the flexible invoicing and reminders, so we adjust them to your needs. And of course, the service delivery must be very consultative in this area. Many thanks, Thorsten. Over to you.
All right, so let's have a look at the third solution, that is Novaglav. So that's, sorry, that is law firm style service. It's not really correct anymore. It's actually, it's truly international, how we use this. Novaglav is a law firm which is part of the Questel group. It is, I think, 135 years plus old, so it is at the market since many years. Doing annuities, of course, also, I don't know exactly if since 135 years, but since a very long time. It is mainly used for clients in the US and in Japan and in China, but also in Europe, definitely. And clients has clients of any size. So from single inventor up to very large corporates, and also many other law firms are using this service. So what are the USPs now here for the management? It's of course the global reach. So Novograph has branches in different territories, in different countries, for instance. It always was working very international in its history. So that is why it's very multilingual. So the web portal that Novograph is offering is multilingual, but also the services. The processes are quite aligned with the Paris processes, but there are also some differentiators. So, for instance, Novograph is sending out reminders, more reminders, for instance, if that is necessary for our clients, and also is offering different invoicing currencies. Like as you can see here, you can be charged in USD, but also in the GBP, the Japanese yen, in the RMB, in the Swiss franc, and of course in the euro. And yeah, very happy customers. You will see that on every slide because this is in fact true for all the solutions. So what's now a USP for the administrators? That is how data exchange can be organized. So it has quite a broad range of options. So you can send instructions via email. You can use the portal. You can also use batch file data exchange. So sending exports and receiving data that you can import. But also you can use an API. In this case, this is at least today only with Equinox. So in compared to Paris, which has a lot of different alliances at the market, so that's Paris legacy. Equinox and Novograph are connected, but that's at least for the time being the only system where we have this API. So it's very easy to monitor and renew, of course, your IP rights, and the invoicing is invoicing terms are very flexible. How this can be organized. So that is now the USP for the administrators. And what is the differentiator? So that's something that is also very important for many clients. It's a co-debitor management. So if you're having patents with co-ownership, for instance, that is something that cannot be done by Paris today, but it can be done by Novograph. So in such a case, if this plays a role for you, that would be the perfect solution for you. Then that you have the platform in different languages, and of course the flexibility of process and invoicing procedures. So that's Novograph. Let's now have a look at the last solution, which is Renewals Desk. Ramona.
Thank you, Thorsten. The Renewals Desk service is mainly for really small companies, small IP law firms, startups, individual inventors, or patent owners. So, in this, with this service, the quality which is delivered is so high quality for a very good price, a very modern online-based service. So many of our clients are self-servicing quite a lot. It's a fair and transparent pricing with a high flexibility. And given the nature of the businesses which are using this service, online credit card payment is required and of course offered. Again, very satisfied customers. The USPs for the administrators, there is online renewal calculator available, which means that instead of pulling the full portfolio costs, many of our customers just want to know what is the price for a specific annuity. So the calculator is available at any time. It's fully digitalized and everything is worded around the customers, which not necessarily might really be IP experts or IP professionals. So the official receipt and the payment confirmations are automatically triggered to our customers. Here, in this case, the communication is via email. If the communication is taking place, so that's via email. And we have, because the communication is a lot via email, we have a very strong and efficient customer care support, which is one of our differentiators. So if you would like to compare the service with a different industry, we would say this is kind of an Amazon style service where everything is fairly easy. We have cut out one of the steps of the process. So would not need to send separate instructions whenever we are receiving, in this case, your cases. We are sending an invoice when the case is due, approximately 3 months before the due date. And if you pay as a client, if you settle the invoice, the settlement of the invoice is deemed as the instruction. So just to make it even more efficient for our clients, for the small group of for the smaller clients, is that we have cut out the separate step of the instruction. So whenever the invoice is paid, this is the instruction, and we are moving forward by paying the PTOs or the local agents. Of course, we are offering also here last minute payments because many of our clients don't even have for the renewals desk service, don't even have an IP management system in use. So and the decision is very often taken very, very late. So there is also a Renewals Desk app available in case of the clients would like. And I have now a pestering cat. I'm sorry, he opened the door. The app is also available for our services, and yeah, that's what we are offering for the small businesses and patent owners. You have now seen 4 different services of ours, and we are more than happy to provide you customer feedback for each of them. What do our clients say about Pavis? So these are real quotes from our clients, and of course we are not providing here now the names, but one of our clients mentioned recently the service is running so smoothly that they don't even notice it, which means this is mainly with the integration of the interface between the two IP management system of our clients and also our annuity system internally. About IPRIS, from the university sides, we are receiving the information user-friendly interface. Of course, here we speak about the Sophia interface, and the point of the information or the information replied back to our clients is very straight to the point, so it's easy to digest, and we are happy to hear that our clients are also recommending us in their own network of the company. For Novagraph, customer support is top-notch. Very happy with the interactions. For the renewals desk, we are happy to hear that our clients are also recommending us also on the renewals desk side to different patent attorneys. So that is mainly the service quality which speaks for itself. So very glowing report, as you can see on the last bullet point here. And what we can say in this webinar, if our clients are here, and we hope to have a couple of clients on our calls, very, very happy to receive this type of feedback. Many, many thanks for this. And I hand over to Torsten for the conclusion of the webinar.
Yeah, thank you, Ramona. Yeah, in fact, I mean, there's always, of course, always fluctuation in this business. So we're winning new clients, and sometimes clients are choosing to work with someone else. But actually, this is happening, in fact, very, very, very rarely. So no matter which solution you look at, we have extremely loyal clients. They stay with us because beside of all the things like automation and cost and process and so forth, there's one very important thing, and that is that you give also the clients the feeling that they are important because they are important, and that is something that we do. So we really insist very much of having internally also a good support, so that's the human support, no matter how automated the service is, but there should also be a good communication from our team to our clients, and that is something which is highly appreciated, I would say. So what are, we think, at least the three takeaways now from this session? So there are tailor-made solutions for each client. So it doesn't matter where you are, in which jurisdiction you are, which step of the digitalization step you are at the moment. Are you at the beginning, in the middle, or are you already at the high automation level, and so forth? There's a solution that you can choose that is the best fit for you. What you also can do is you can always, when you we're doing the right choice, you can minimize your risks. That has to do with the quality, of course, and that with a let's say proper and very smooth exchange of data. And you can, of course, raise or you can gain more efficiency by automation. And this is the step we're leading you through. I think that we haven't said this so far, but I think that's also very important. So we were saying in between today, we want to understand where you are, your situation. So what's the best fit for you? But we also elaborating together with you if you have a strategy uh, towards more automation, for instance, and you say today I'm here, but tomorrow I want to be there, and next year I want to be there, and so forth. So it's important that when you choose the right solution or the right provider, that this is someone or it's an organization that can go this path with you, that can also be the right solution tomorrow and the year after and so forth, no matter how you are developing, no matter how quick you are going. And this is exactly what we can do. So we can be on your side and supporting you through all the necessary steps to reach the automation if that's your strategy. And last but not least, a seamless integration of the services. Well, this of course makes your life much easier. I cannot stress this enough. Annuities, I mean, we love it, of course. It's our business, but many clients don't love it because it's not creating value. I've said it a few times, but we take care that this at least will be as convenient for you as possible. So these are the key takeaways. We think, or we hope, that this is the case for you as well. And now it's time, if you want to send us questions, maybe we can answer questions now. If not, we will collect them and we will then reply them later. So thank you so much for listening, and please let us know if you have a question.
There were a couple of questions on the threads, which I responded. So one of the question was the cost of service and if there is a contract required. In terms of the cost of service, of course, it's also depending on the portfolio itself. Contracts are in general required. However, the renewals desk service would be without a contract. Another question was about if we connect to Unicom. I provided the information back that we have a solution over there, and we are more than happy to speak about it. And yes, the third question, are we able to offer any API to other IPMSs? Yes, we have more, so 10 plus. We have connections to more than 10 different IPMS solutions, and we are more than happy to speak with you about it, so to provide you also the answer. So these were the questions on the which we have received so far. If there are no further questions, thank you very much for attending today, and hope to see you on our next webinar.
Yeah, thank you so much. And if something comes up to your mind later, just send us a note and then we will answer your question immediately. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you, Ramona.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Melissa,
See you.
for organizing this today, and hope to see you soon again.